West County Center buzzed with the usual weekend energy on September 13th, 2025. Families strolled past storefronts, laughter and music blending in the air. Teenagers clustered in groups, sipping smoothies and chatting about the latest trends. The scent of popcorn and perfume drifted through the mall, adding to the sense of comfort and routine. Kids begged for carousel rides, shoppers browsed for back-to-school deals, and the food court hummed with conversation. Downstairs near Champs Sports, people browsed sneakers and jerseys, unaware of what was coming. Security guards made their rounds, employees folded shirts, and the Missouri sun shone outside. It was a scene of pure, everyday normalcy. But sometimes, the most frightening moments strike when we least expect them. The calm before the storm was about to end. It was an ordinary Saturday afternoon at West County Center. Shoppers wandered from store to store, laughter and music echoing through the bright corridors. Suddenly, a loud metallic crash shattered the mall's peace, slicing through the background noise like a siren. The sound was so sharp and unexpected that it seemed to freeze time itself. Near Champs Sports, people froze mid-step, their faces shifting from curiosity to confusion and then to fear. The air grew thick with tension as everyone tried to make sense of what had just happened. Was it a gunshot? A bomb? No one knew, but panic took over almost instantly. The uncertainty was as terrifying as the noise itself, and the crowd's anxiety grew with every passing second. Suddenly, someone screamed, "Shooter!" and the word spread like wildfire, leaping from person to person, amplifying the fear. In a matter of moments, the entire mall was gripped by terror. Bags dropped to the floor, forgotten. Parents grabbed their children, pulling them close, desperate to protect them. Shoppers who had been browsing moments before now sprinted for exits, their faces etched with panic. Some ducked into stores, yanking down security gates behind them. Others dove under tables or barricaded themselves in restrooms, searching for any place to hide from the unknown threat. The mall's cheerful soundtrack was instantly replaced by the thunder of running footsteps, the shrill cries of frightened children, and the desperate shouts of people calling for loved ones. No official announcement came. People clung to their phones, frantically texting friends and family, searching for answers that weren't there. The silence from authorities only fueled the panic, leaving everyone to imagine the worst. The bright, open spaces that once felt inviting now seemed like a trap, every echo and shadow a potential threat. The sense of safety had vanished in an instant. That single, sudden sound had plunged West County Center into total chaos and panic, transforming a place of leisure into a scene of fear and confusion. Just moments before, it had been a normal, bustling Saturday. Now, the same hallways were filled with chaos, the contrast almost surreal. Fear spread faster than facts. In the absence of information, panic became contagious. The stampede was on, and no one knew when or if it would end. As people ran for their lives, the air inside the mall was thick with confusion and fear. Shouts echoed off the walls, and the sound of hurried footsteps filled every corridor. In moments like these, panic spreads faster than anyone can imagine. All around, cell phones lit up across the mall. People clutched their devices tightly, desperate for information, desperate to connect with the outside world. The glow of screens became a lifeline in the chaos. Shoppers and employees frantically texted loved ones, their fingers trembling as they typed. Messages flew out. Active shooter at West County Center, each one carrying a sense of urgency and dread. Some posted updates to social media, hoping to warn others or simply to be heard. Within minutes, social media feeds exploded with warnings and speculation. Posts and tweets multiplied, each one amplifying the fear and uncertainty. The digital world became a mirror of the chaos inside the mall, with every new update fueling the panic. News outlets quickly picked up the story, broadcasting urgent headlines about a possible shooter. Television screens and news websites flashed with breaking news banners, spreading the story far beyond the mall's walls. The digital panic didn't stop at the mall. It leapt from phone to phone, from city to city, reaching thousands of people in just minutes. Friends, family, and strangers alike were swept up in the wave of fear, all connected by the same stream of alarming information. Parents and friends, miles away, desperately tried to reach loved ones inside. Phone lines jammed as calls poured in, each one filled with worry and hope for a reassuring answer. Online, rumors began to swirl. People speculated about what was happening, sharing unverified details and fearful guesses. The truth was quickly buried under a flood of anxious comments and wild theories, creating a second wave of anxiety that rippled through the internet. Meanwhile, police rushed to the scene, bracing for the worst. Their response was shaped by the reports they'd seen online, reports that were often based on fear, not facts. The line between rumor and reality blurred in the heat of the moment. The power of social media turned confusion into a full-blown crisis. Viral posts and shocking headlines fueled a collective sense of dread, making it nearly impossible to separate fact from fiction. In the noise and chaos, the truth was lost. People struggled to make sense of what was happening, but the flood of information only made things more confusing. Panic was now everywhere, inside the mall, on city streets, and in homes across the region. The fear had spread far beyond the original incident, touching everyone who heard the story. All of this happened before anyone truly knew what had really occurred. In the rush to share and respond, the facts were left behind, and the rumor had already taken on a life of its own. The first frantic 911 calls came in just after the initial reports of gunfire. Within moments, dispatchers relayed the emergency to every available unit in the area. Police from across the region, city, county, and even state troopers, raced toward West County Center, their sirens piercing the evening air. The sense of urgency was unmistakable. Every second counted as officers sped through traffic, determined to reach the scene as quickly as possible. Officers arrived in minutes, stepping out of their vehicles with weapons drawn and tactical gear in place. They were prepared for the worst, a deadly threat that could erupt at any moment. SWAT teams assembled outside, coordinating their approach, while patrol officers formed a perimeter to keep bystanders safe. Sirens wailed, echoing off the walls of the shopping center. The mall was immediately placed on lockdown. Storefronts shuttered their gates, and employees rushed to secure customers in back rooms. Outside, police tape went up, sealing off entrances and exits as officers established control. Heavily armed officers moved quickly through the corridors, shouting, "Get out! Everybody get out!" Their voices cut through the chaos, directing terrified crowds toward the nearest exits. Some shoppers ran, others froze in fear, but all were desperate to escape the unknown danger lurking inside. For those inside, the sight of police was both frightening and reassuring. The presence of so many armed officers was a stark reminder of the threat, but also a sign that help had arrived. Some people clung to loved ones, others whispered prayers, all hoping for safety. Teams of officers swept the building, moving methodically from store to store. They checked every corner, every display, searching for any sign of a shooter or evidence of violence. The tension was palpable, each moment stretching out as they cleared one area after another. No space was overlooked. Every bathroom, closet, and hallway was checked, sometimes more than once. Officers called out, announcing their presence, ready for anything that might be waiting behind a closed door. Outside, the operation was massive. Parking lots overflowed with police cars, ambulances, and fire trucks. The flashing lights painted the night in red and blue, creating a dramatic and tense scene that drew the attention of everyone nearby. Inside, officers advanced cautiously, weapons drawn, treating every shadow as a potential threat. They risked their lives with every step, knowing that the situation could turn deadly in an instant. Their training and courage were put to the ultimate test. The scale of the response was unprecedented. Dozens of agencies worked together, coordinating their efforts to ensure no detail was missed. The sheer number of responders showed just how seriously these threats are taken in today's world. The mall, once filled with laughter and the bustle of shoppers, was now eerily silent. Abandoned shopping bags and scattered belongings told the story of a joyful day suddenly interrupted by crisis. Police worked methodically, determined to secure every corner and ensure no one was left behind. Their focus was absolute, their mission clear: protect lives and restore safety. Outside, anxious crowds gathered behind police tape, watching every movement with bated breath. Family members called loved ones, desperate for news. The world outside watched, gripped by fear and uncertainty. Inside, the search continued, relentless and thorough. The truth was still unknown, but help had arrived, and the community could only hope that the worst had been avoided. In the face of fear, the bravery and resolve of first responders shone through, offering a glimmer of hope amid the chaos. For those trapped inside, every minute felt endless. 13-year-old Maya Imig, separated from her grandmother, was guided to safety by strangers. Even her mother, an Army veteran, described the experience as absolutely terrifying. Shoppers hid in clothing racks, employees locked doors and herded people into back rooms. In the darkness, strangers whispered comfort, texting loved ones, "I love you," just in case. The fear was overwhelming. Every sound sent a jolt of terror. When police finally reached them, relief was immediate. Tears flowed as people emerged into the sunlight. The memory of that fear would linger long after. Everyone inside had a story of panic, kindness, and survival. The ordeal was over, but the impact was lasting. As police finished their sweep, the truth emerged. No bullet holes, no shell casings, no gunshot victims, just a few scrapes from the chaos. Director Eric Hall addressed the crowd. No shots were fired, there is no active shooter. The entire scare was a false alarm, triggered by a single loud noise. Relief swept through the community, but confusion remained. How could so many be so sure they'd heard gunfire? In moments of fear, our senses can deceive us. The power of suggestion and panic had taken over. The most important message: everyone was safe. The police had done their job, first by responding, then by sharing the truth. The mall was secure, the danger imagined. A misunderstanding had spiraled out of control. Investigators reviewed security footage near Champs Sports. The real cause: a fight, not a shooting. A chair was thrown during an argument, crashing loudly on the floor. That single bang echoed through the mall, sparking the panic. The people involved quickly left, unaware of the chaos they'd caused. Police confirmed with witnesses: no weapons, no serious injuries, no arrests. By late afternoon, the mall was declared safe and reopened. The emergency was over, but the lesson was clear. A simple fight had triggered a citywide scare. The West County Center scare showed how fast information, true or false, spreads today. Social media turned confusion into crisis in minutes. Well-meaning posts fueled panic, far outpacing official updates. The lack of clear communication inside the mall made things worse. In an information vacuum, rumors fill the gap. Calm, official announcements could have eased the fear. We all have a responsibility to check sources before sharing. In a crisis, think before you post. False alarms can make things worse. The digital world amplifies fear as quickly as facts. Choose your words and your shares carefully. The panic at West County Center taught us vital lessons. Stay calm in emergencies. Panic can be as dangerous as any threat. Listen to authorities. Their instructions save lives. Be skeptical of breaking news on social media. Wait for facts. Official sources matter more than rumors. Communities are strong. Strangers helped Maya. People comforted each other, and police worked together. In chaos, kindness and cooperation shine through. Learn from this event. Stay calm, follow directions, think before you share. Support one another in crisis. Together, we can face the unexpected and come out stronger.